You're not tired, you're sleep-deprived. There's a difference. Being tired means your body needs rest. But when you're sleep-deprived night after night, year after year, it begins to take pieces of your life. Memory, mood, energy, confidence, joy, and if you're over 55, the impact is even worse. What used to be a good night's sleep has turned into hours of tossing, waking up multiple times and starting every morning more exhausted than the last. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Millions of older adults silently suffer through broken sleep, and most are told the same thing: it's just aging. But that's a lie. Your body still wants to sleep deeply. It just needs the right support. And that support doesn't come from a bottle of pills. It comes from something you probably already have in your kitchen. Pumpkin seeds. Strange as it sounds, these little seeds contain everything your aging brain needs to reboot its natural sleep rhythm. Magnesium to calm your nerves, tryptophan to produce melatonin, and zinc to help it all work better. Real results, no side effects, no dependency. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to use pumpkin seeds to transform your sleep, starting tonight. If you're done accepting fatigue as the new normal, keep watching. What you're about to learn might be the most powerful 3-minute habit of your life. Part 1: Why pumpkin seeds unlock deep sleep naturally. If you're over 55 and your sleep feels fragile, it's not because your body gave up, it's because it's missing something vital. Deep sleep isn't about shutting your eyes. It's a chemical process inside your brain, guided by hormones, minerals, and rhythms your body once produced easily, but now struggles to maintain. One of the key players in this process is tryptophan, an amino acid your brain converts into serotonin, which stabilizes your mood, and then into melatonin, which tells your body it's time to sleep. As we age, this pathway weakens. Our bodies produce less serotonin. Melatonin cycles get disrupted, and the result, you lie in bed exhausted but alert, restless yet craving peace. Here's where pumpkin seeds become so powerful, not as a snack, but as a sleep solution. These seeds are one of nature's richest sources of tryptophan, but even more importantly, they also contain magnesium and zinc, two minerals that help your brain use that tryptophan efficiently. Magnesium acts like a natural relaxant. It calms your nervous system, reduces stress, and even lowers inflammation in the brain, all things that block restful sleep. Zinc, meanwhile, supports the conversion of tryptophan into serotonin and helps regulate your circadian rhythm. Most sleep supplements only offer one of these ingredients, melatonin alone or a bit of magnesium. Pumpkin seeds offer the entire system your body needs to make its own sleep hormones again, the natural way. And it doesn't stop there. Pumpkin seeds are also packed with antioxidants, which protect your brain from the kind of oxidative stress that builds up over years of poor sleep. They even contain healthy fats and plant compounds that support heart health, reduce blood sugar spikes at night, and keep your digestion calm, an underrated but critical part of sleeping through the night. This isn't about magic, it's about biochemistry. Your body is wired for sleep. It just needs the right raw materials to activate that wiring again. And pumpkin seeds, simple, natural, inexpensive, deliver those materials in one bite-sized package. Think about this: if a pharmaceutical company designed a capsule that contained tryptophan, magnesium, zinc, antioxidants, healthy fats, and no side effects, it would cost a fortune. But you have that formula in a handful of seeds, and more importantly, your body knows what to do with them. Pumpkin seeds aren't sedatives, they don't knock you out. They gently support the systems inside you that already know how to rest. That's why they work, that's why they are safe, and that's why, when used consistently, they help seniors sleep deeply again, sometimes within just a few nights. So the next time you're staring at the clock at 3 a.m. wondering what went wrong, remember this: your body hasn't failed you. It's just waiting for the tools it needs. And those tools might be sitting quietly in your pantry right now. Part 2: 3 simple ways to use pumpkin seeds for deep sleep. Let's be clear, this isn't about trying one random food once and hoping for a miracle. This is about creating a habit, one so small, so easy, and yet so powerful that it starts to reset your body's natural sleep cycle within just a few nights. If you've lived through months or even years of restless nights, you've likely tried a dozen solutions. Pills, routines, devices, but very few of them work with your biology, they work against it. Pumpkin seeds are different. They don't force your brain to sleep. They provide the very building blocks your brain needs to relax, restore, and transition smoothly into deep sleep. But the how matters just as much as the what. So here are 3 proven, practical, and deeply restorative ways to use pumpkin seeds for better sleep, starting tonight. Method 1. The wind down ritual. A handful of dry roasted pumpkin seeds 1 hour before bed. There's something sacred about the last hour of the day. It's the bridge between who you were all day and who you become while your body repairs itself at night. For many adults over 55, that bridge has become broken. Instead of peace, there's tension. Instead of rest, there's racing thoughts. And instead of sleep, there's struggle. But what if that final hour could become your most healing moment? What if you could train your body to recognize that it's time to rest, not through force, but through a signal as simple as a handful of seeds? This is the quiet power of the wind down ritual. 1 ounce of dry roasted, unsalted pumpkin seeds, eaten slowly, intentionally about an hour before bed. No fanfare, no big production, just a small, calming act that delivers a powerful biological message. It's safe to rest now. Here's why it works. That single handful delivers magnesium, which relaxes your muscles, eases nervous tension, and quiets inflammation in the brain. It brings in tryptophan, the raw material your body needs to make serotonin, your feel-good hormone, and then melatonin, your sleep hormone. It also gives you zinc, which helps convert tryptophan into those hormones more efficiently. You're not taking melatonin, you're helping your body make it naturally, the way it was designed to. And the key is not just what you eat, but how. If you rush through it in front of the TV, scrolling your phone, you're missing the point. But if you sit, breathe, dim the lights, and let yourself be still for a few minutes, this becomes a ritual. And your brain begins to associate that ritual with sleep. Over time, sometimes just 3 nights, that routine tells your nervous system it's time to shut down, let go, and enter deep sleep. Think about it. We train our pets with routine. We train babies with bath time and lullabies. But as adults, we've forgotten how powerful simple cues can be. Your brain still responds to signals. It's not too late to create a new one. Just a handful of pumpkin seeds, just 10 quiet minutes. That's it. For best results, keep the ritual consistent. Eat them at the same time each night. Keep the lighting soft, avoid screens and bright overhead lights. Consider pairing it with a warm, non-caffeinated drink like herbal tea to strengthen the signal. And don't overdo the portion. 1 ounce is plenty. More doesn't mean better. Sleep isn't something you chase, it's something you allow. And the more gentle, familiar cues you give your body, the more it responds. For people who have spent years relying on pills or battling with sleepless nights, this small habit might feel too simple. But that's exactly why it works. It's not a dramatic intervention. It's not a shock to the system. It's a whisper repeated consistently until your body remembers what it always knew: how to rest. So tonight, when the house is quiet and the world slows down, reach for those seeds, not just as food, but as a message. Let them be your soft signal that the day is done and that your body deserves this rest. Because sleep, true sleep, isn't just a break, it's where healing begins. Method 2. The soothing nightcap. Homemade pumpkin seed milk. There's something about a warm drink at night that feels like comfort, not just physically but emotionally. It signals the end of effort, the start of rest. And for those who struggle to fall asleep, especially after 55, that comfort can become part of a powerful nightly ritual. But here's the key: not all nightcaps are created equal. Some, like wine or sugary drinks, might help you feel drowsy but later disrupt your sleep cycle. Others might soothe you emotionally but do little to support the brain chemistry needed for deep, natural rest. That's why homemade pumpkin seed milk is so different and so effective. This drink does more than just relax you. It feeds your nervous system exactly what it needs to shift into sleep mode, naturally and gently. Let's start with what's inside. Pumpkin seeds are packed with tryptophan, magnesium, zinc, and healthy fats, the 4 essential components your body uses to make serotonin and melatonin. But when you blend them into a milk, those nutrients become easier to digest and absorb, especially for older adults with slower metabolism or sensitive digestion. Here's how to make it. Take half a cup of raw pumpkin seeds, soak them in water for about 4-6 hours, then drain and blend with 2 to 3 cups of fresh water. You can strain it through a nut milk bag or leave it slightly textured. Warm it gently, never boil, and add a pinch of cinnamon, a drop of vanilla, or a teaspoon of raw honey if desired. Each of these additions offers not only flavor but added sleep support. Cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar. Honey can assist melatonin production. The warmth of the drink itself soothes your nervous system, signaling safety and calm. Drink this 30 to 60 minutes before bed, in a quiet space, ideally with lights dimmed and screens off. Sip it slowly. Let the warmth move through your chest, your stomach, your limbs. This isn't just a drink, it's a form of self-care. It says, I'm letting go of the day, I'm choosing rest. And for many people who have lived with decades of broken sleep, this kind of gentle ritual is exactly what the body needs to reset its rhythm. If you struggle with chewing, swallowing, or digestion late at night, this method is ideal. It's light, it's easy, and it delivers the same sleep-supporting nutrients without the heaviness of a meal or snack. More importantly, it offers a moment of stillness. In a world that rarely slows down, creating 10 minutes to nourish your body with intention can be life-changing. Because rest isn't just about sleeping, it's about honoring your need to slow down. The results: many report better sleep within a few nights. They fall asleep faster, wake up fewer times, and feel more refreshed in the morning, not groggy, not foggy, just clear and rested. So if pills have failed you, if routines feel exhausting, and if you've forgotten what real rest feels like, start here. One simple drink, one quiet night, one gentle message to your body: you're safe now, you can sleep. Method 3. The balanced bedtime snack: pumpkin seeds, banana or kiwi, and Greek yogurt. Waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. isn't always about anxiety or hormones. Sometimes it's your blood sugar. Many people over 55 unknowingly experience small dips in blood glucose during the night. And when that happens, your body perceives it as a threat. It releases stress hormones like cortisol or adrenaline, and suddenly you're wide awake. That's why for some, the real sleep solution isn't in the brain, it's in the gut. Specifically, it's in what you eat before bed. Enter the balanced bedtime snack, a small intentional combination of pumpkin seeds, banana or kiwi, and plain Greek yogurt. It's not just healthy, it's strategic. Each ingredient plays a role in helping your body feel calm, full, and stable through the night. Start with 1-2 tablespoons of dry roasted, unsalted pumpkin seeds. They provide the foundation: tryptophan to support serotonin and melatonin, magnesium to ease muscle tension, and zinc to assist the whole process. Add half a banana or 1 whole kiwi. Bananas are rich in vitamin B6, which your body needs to convert tryptophan into calming brain chemicals. Kiwis, interestingly, have been shown in multiple studies to improve sleep quality, likely due to their antioxidant and serotonin-boosting effects. Finally, include 1/4 to a half cup of plain Greek yogurt. This adds protein to keep you full, probiotics to support your gut, which is deeply connected to sleep and mood, and calcium, which also helps with melatonin production. Mix these 3 together in a bowl. Keep it simple: no added sugar, no granola, no heavy toppings. The goal isn't dessert, it's balance. Eat this snack about 90 minutes before bed, and give your body time to begin digesting and absorbing the nutrients. What you'll likely notice is that you fall asleep more steadily, not as if you're being knocked out, but as if your body is no longer fighting to feel safe. You may wake up fewer times, you may stop feeling hungry in the middle of the night, and best of all, you'll begin to wake up feeling like your energy belongs to you again. Not every body responds the same, but many older adults find this snack works better than over-the-counter sleep aids, because instead of sedating you, it stabilizes you. And that makes all the difference. Plus, there's something deeply comforting about ending your evening with real food you can chew, taste, and enjoy. It becomes more than a solution. It becomes a moment of self-care, a message to your body that says, I'm giving you what you need tonight. And when done consistently, it becomes a rhythm, one your nervous system learns to trust. So if you've tried the teas, the pills, the sleep sounds, and none of it stuck, try this. It's simple, it's nourishing. And it just might be the one thing that helps you sleep through the night without waking up in a panic. Because your body doesn't need to be forced to rest. It just needs to feel safe enough to let go. Part 3: How to avoid mistakes when using pumpkin seeds for sleep. Just because something is natural doesn't mean you can use it carelessly. That's especially true when it comes to pumpkin seeds and sleep. While these seeds are incredibly powerful, using them the wrong way or with the wrong expectations can leave you disappointed or worse, uncomfortable. So before you turn this into a daily habit, let's talk about how to do it right. Because the how matters as much as the what. First, don't overdo it. More is not better. The optimal serving for sleep support is about 1 ounce per day. That's roughly 2 tablespoons or a small handful. Eating significantly more can lead to digestive issues like bloating, gas, or even constipation, especially if your body isn't used to a lot of fiber or healthy fat at once. Remember, the goal is to soothe your system, not overwhelm it. Second, choose the right kind of pumpkin seeds. Not all seeds are created equal. Avoid anything that's heavily salted, sweetened, or processed with oils. Those additives can raise your blood pressure, spike your sugar levels, or irritate your digestion, working against your goal of better sleep. Instead, look for dry roasted, unsalted pumpkin seeds or roast your own at home. If you prefer raw seeds, make sure they're fresh and stored properly to avoid rancidity. Third, pay attention to timing. Pumpkin seeds aren't sleeping pills, they don't work in 10 minutes. Your body needs time to digest, convert the tryptophan, and release melatonin naturally. That's why it's best to eat them 30 to 90 minutes before bedtime, depending on which method you choose. Too close to sleep and you may feel heavy or full. Too early and you might miss the window when your body needs those nutrients most. Fourth, watch for food sensitivities. Pumpkin seeds are generally well tolerated, but like any food, they can trigger reactions in some people. Signs of sensitivity include skin rashes, headaches, itching, or mild stomach discomfort. If you experience these, stop using them and consult your doctor. Also, if you've ever had a seed or nut allergy, proceed with caution and test in small amounts first. Fifth, consider your medical conditions and medications. If you're taking diuretics, be aware that pumpkin seeds have mild diuretic properties themselves. Combined, they can lead to electrolyte imbalance or increased bathroom trips during the night. Exactly what we're trying to avoid. If you have low blood pressure, pumpkin seeds may lower it further. And if you're managing diabetes, be cautious. These seeds can lower blood sugar and may interact with your medication. Always check with your healthcare provider if you're on medication or managing a condition. Sixth, stay consistent but flexible. Like any natural remedy, pumpkin seeds don't work overnight for everyone. Some people feel the difference after 2-3 nights. Others may need a week or more. Don't quit too soon, but also don't force it if it doesn't feel right. Your body is your best guide. Pay attention to how you sleep, how you feel in the morning, and how your digestion responds. Finally, and most importantly, don't expect the seeds to work in isolation. Pumpkin seeds can support your sleep, but they're not magic. If you're drinking coffee at 5 p.m., scrolling on your phone in bed, or carrying anxiety from your day straight into your pillow, even the best natural remedies will struggle to help. Use these seeds as part of a broader nighttime routine: dim lights, quiet spaces, calm thoughts, and gentle breathing. Because true sleep support isn't just about what you eat, it's about how you treat your entire evening. When you combine pumpkin seeds with intentional rest and mindful habits, the results are real and often remarkable. So go into this with the right mindset, slow, consistent, respectful of your body's rhythm, and let these seeds be a small, steady ally on your journey back to deep, natural rest. The truth is, your body hasn't forgotten how to sleep. It's simply been overwhelmed, under-supported, and pushed into survival mode for too long. The nights of staring at the ceiling, waking up in the dark, dragging yourself through another morning, you weren't failing. You were just missing the signals your brain once relied on to feel safe, still, and ready to rest. What we've explored here isn't a miracle cure. It's biology, it's chemistry, and most of all, it's habit. Pumpkin seeds on their own are just food. But when used with intention, at the right time, in the right way, they become tools. Tools your nervous system can use to restore balance. Tools your brain can use to rebuild its sleep hormones from the inside out. Tools your heart can use to remember what it feels like to wake up and not dread the day ahead. You've learned how a small handful of dry roasted seeds can act as a nightly signal, how a warm cup of pumpkin seed milk can gently calm a restless body, how a simple bowl of yogurt, fruit, and seeds can keep your system stable while you sleep. And most importantly, you've learned that deep sleep doesn't have to come from a pill, a prescription, or an expensive supplement. It can come from within, with consistency, with care, with just a few minutes of presence each night. So give your body a chance to remember what it's capable of. Give it the raw materials, the quiet time, the rhythm it's been craving. It won't happen in one night, but in a few nights or a few weeks, something will shift. And when it does, you'll know, not because you fell asleep faster, but because you finally woke up feeling whole. You don't need to sleep like a child. You just need to sleep like someone who feels safe again. Someone whose body has what it needs. Someone who's finally at peace. And sometimes, all it takes is a handful of seeds and the willingness to slow down.